security then you now have him being appointed as an ambassador to somewhere in West Africa, I think it's Ghana or so, after they were retired, before they
gave them some of them appointments here and there. Yeah, ambassadors.
Yeah.
Ratai the Butcher was sent to Benin Republic. You're right.
Exactly. So it still boils down to the same thing you have always constantly been saying on this platform. That what is the point of doing the same thing over and over again and expect a different result? These people, this is absolutely what you've been preaching. You've been saying from the very get go that why are we always bringing in people who and they failed? They've not performed. And is it their fault that they've not performed? I wouldn't say that much, because considering the kind of system we're operating in a 1999 constitution that is so bedeviled with evil intention that is already included in that document. So it is coming back to what you've been saying, is that why are we doing the same thing over and over again with the level of education Nigerians have acquired? Is it PhD, professor, name it, Mahego? Yes. Look at where we are. Ibrahim Traore in Burkina Faso. Look at what that one is even doing. Is it even half of the educated ones we have in Nigeria? But look at
this. 36 as well. It's just a 36-year-old young man.
Young man, look at what he's doing there. Look, I am not here again, and I want the people in the temple for us to agree on one thing. As a member of the temple, I'm not here to always thinking that when I come, it's just to lash out or criticize the Nigerian government. Is the only thing I know how to do. No. But I want us to believe that we are all here objectively to point out the inhumane attitude, the conduct for which the Nigerian government has subjected our people to. This is and it doesn't look like we're even close. If Burkina Faso, a small boy, is doing what he's doing in Burkina Faso, is it rocket science?
It's not.
Is it rocket science that we just get it done? You have looted.
It is intentional. All of this is intentional. So that's what makes it sad. Like nobody is expecting an El Dorado of a place, just a normal rule of law where the human rights are respected and people are treated like human beings. That's all people are asking for, not some magician that will turn place to El Dorado. No, this is wrong. Ken, thank you very much, okay, for opening the conversation this evening. We have other callers, okay?
It's a great talking to you. Thank you.
It's a pleasure hearing from you again. Have a good one, sir. So here is another one. Hello.
It's a pleasure hearing from you again. Have a good one, sir.
Please, my caller, you may need to mute the broadcast or go to another room if you can. Can you hear me?
Yeah, hello. How you doing?
Hello, sir. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Grand. All of us can hear you too. Please.
All right, Mario, how have you been?
Well, very well, Baba. How you doing?
I'm good. Yeah, before I actually contribute, there's a lady that used to call on your show. Is it Abike or Abeke or something? She used to call to
she's Abike.
Yeah, I know it's
Abike.
Exactly. I know it's been a while, and I know usually, we try to check on everybody to be sure if it's been a while we hear from them.
We've not forgotten you. Big possibly watches like many others too, right? Sometimes one thing about on Mayegun's Diary Political, we have those who are like, the moment you open the line, they will call him, right? We call them, we know those ones as regular callers. Then we have those who are silent watchers. The only reason why those ones will ever call is when a certain conversation is ongoing and they just really couldn't hold it in anymore. They want to say something. Then we also have those who are just like seasonal callers, So I mean, I've missed that Apike, and there's so many others like that, right? Who have like Lady Abby. She's more into just engaging in comments these days, right? She doesn't really call. And I do hope she's hearing you, so that she will know that there are many people who
I just hope she's okay, because she contributes very well and she's very knowledgeable. So
thank you so much, man.
Yeah, no problem. So I just wanted to contribute based on the what's that man's name that wanted an elected governor to come and give him reports. And when you mentioned that, it cracked me up, honestly speaking. So I was just trying to picture it in my head. So
like some people are even saying
elected
that
governor,
that can be true. I was like, what are you saying? What do you mean like that can be true? It's already published as government announcement.
I don't know, for some reason. I'm still thinking maybe it's a prank or something.
Like
I don't know.
Because some people can't imagine it. They're like, how can you so
honestly,
Fubara will now go and go in front of like, what the heck, man?
I'm telling you that I was like, I didn't want to. Usually, I don't call. I just listen in. I'm one of the seasonal listeners. Right. But when I heard that, it cracked me up. I'm like, it's not possible. But Nigeria, nothing is impossible in
Tomorrow
Nigeria.
Now you visit the same Fubara with his heart.
Yeah. So
and they will say in front of people, they say, what? And all your anger, all your rage, right? You can't say, okay, how I go balance up now? Who should I be more angry at right now? Now is it Fubara?
Exactly.
Or Nigeria?
Exactly.
It's a funny place, but honestly, go on.
Anyway, I don't have much to say. That's why I didn't have the intention of calling. I just said, I'm like, no, I need to say something on this, But thanks for the good work you do, man. I appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much for calling me. Okay, enjoy your evening.
No problem.
So here is Victor, I believe. Hello.
Hello, Mayegun. How you doing, my brother?
I'm very well, man. How you doing, sir?
I'm all right.
Grand.
Oh, it's nice to connect with you again today, man.
It's a pleasure. Thanks for calling in.
Please. Yeah, it's Victor from Frankfurt.
That's you, Victor from Frankfurt.
Exactly. Yeah.
To hear from you again. Go on, Baba.
My brother. The topic that you touched on today, man, that I think it hits home, man. It hits home, like seriously. It's two things that really struck me there. One is the policeman and that the Chinese man was, and the woman was making fun of. I mean, literally, the policeman, not just one of them, but a kind
on
of
duty. Add that, they are not on break.
Exactly.
They are on duty.
Parading them and making fun of them, and they're going to take this to China and be using it as a kind of a mockery against our policemen
in Nigeria. Look at man, we give them money, they do whatever we want them to do for us.
It's a slap on our face, my brother. It's a slap on the Nigerian police face, on Africa in general. It's so repugnant, I've never seen something like this in my life before.
It is so cringy to watch. Like, you don't even know if you have to laugh or get mad. Like, what the heck, man? What's this?
So the corruption in our country has been so institutionalized that the politicians have taken over the resources, and then these people that they use as decoy, a kind of how would I put it? The people that they are using as a kind of front, their SPV or whatever they call them,
they are paid sellers. So it's
are now the ones that are now in charge, messing up our police force, and our forces will start dancing to their tune. It's so appalling, my brother. I'm so ashamed. I was ashamed when I saw it.
Imagine the lowest that they have sunk, honestly.
Oh God, how did we get here? Oh, well.
Time shall tell, by the way. And we will keep putting this in front of everyone so that if you have any reason to really get mad at this corrupted system, maybe you can find one here. If you're looking
I made some serious comment on it. One, I know some of them are hungry. It's due to the condition of the condition that got created by the situation prevailing in the country. But there is no reason for a policeman to subject themselves to such ridicule, to the point that they were filming them. They know they were being filmed, and the purpose for which they were filming them, they don't know. Oh my God, this is the heights of insult that we could get as a nation.
Victor.
Secondly,
yes, second one. Go on.
The other aspect of it is this mechanized farming. You know, the issue of the tractors and the public transports that got imported from foreign land.
Yeah.
You see, this misplacement of priority of a thing. You understand? At the time, I'm beginning to think, well, by God's grace, if we're able to form a better Nigeria, I think somebody like you could be, stand a very good chance of advising the government on what to do, because you seem to know a lot better than this, funny people that call themselves politicians.
It's not that they didn't know too, Baba. It's not that they don't. It's, the thing is that it is all intentional. You get that now? I'll tell you something before you continue, Victor, right? Do you know that more than 50% of those who are running Nigeria right now, more than 60% of them, they've actually lived abroad before. More than 60% of them have dual citizenship in that country. Some of them have lived whether 10 years, 15 years, 5 years abroad, like me and you. But there's something intentional about them to keep the people that way. It's intentional. So that's why I told people, I said, I appreciate the fact that when you kind of like have that personal conviction in people like myself, right? I said somebody like yourself should be in a position to advise people, or even people like us should be in charge of government and the rest of that. That's quite,
exactly.
Like
these guys are confused. They don't seem to know what they are doing.
Yeah,
look at
the system. The whole system is deliberate. That's the part. For people like us to be able to shine, right? Like you think, okay? For people like us to be able to shine in a system, right? It must be a system that wanted quality over quantity, a merit-based system. Do you get that now?
Yeah.
And
exactly.
Now human being will put together a merit-based system. No spirit will do it. So that's when people like us that you probably can project will be able to really shine. Everything happening in that place is intentional.
That country. You see, my brother. In fact, it makes me wonder. A country, okay, fine. Even if we don't produce much, but at least we have a company like Innocent. Yeah. What stops us from patronizing these companies? That's how we grow. That's how other countries grow. Okay, look at in fact, I made some comment on that when I saw it. I made some comment. I said Tinubu should go and learn from this young man, this vibrant young guy from Burkina Faso.
Right.
Do you know what he did? Do you know what he did?
What?
He has liberalized his economy that now Burkina Faso has become a tax-free nation. In fact, the first in history. That the Western world are even saying that maybe they should sanction them, because they are so afraid now that the billionaires are going to take their money to go and invest in Burkina Faso.
Like that.
When they asked him, how are you going to finance other things like the infrastructure? Did you know what he said? He said the natural resources. People don't have to pay tax, pay tax to the government. The natural resources from Burkina Faso is enough to finance the development of the infrastructure in that country. Now you tell me how investors will not come into such environment to invest when they know that their money is going to be saved and they won't get taxed.
Eventually.
The whole profit that they make will get taken, if they want to take it back to their country, whatever they want to do, it's available to them. In fact, Tinubu should go and learn from this guy.
Again, like I said,
I appreciate it, my brother.
Intentional. So if they all decided and say we are going to invest $10 billion or $20 billion in manufacturing industries in Nigeria, you see, just $2 billion of that money alone can generate another at least to more than 30,000 megawatts of electricity. Which, if that is added, right, where iron processing factories springs up next to where the iron ore resources is, right? And you are there as you employ thousands of people working in mining the iron ore, processing it. Your factories, there are other thousands of workers in your factory processing the
into
iron.
Unemployed right? That will be taken out of the labor unemployed labor.
All your industry you want to build, right? Whether it is a motoring industry, whether it is a construction industry, whether it is name it, right? You would have the resources produced locally, and those are the things that will strengthen your naira. They know all of these things, Victor, but Nigeria is not put together to work for anybody. So they won't.
That is why I continue to say, if Obi has taken, if they have allowed Obi to rule that nation, we wouldn't have been where we are today.
Yeah.
Some people will come around.
There will be slow blockade of the hemorrhage. You're right. That's the difference.
What could have been the difference? This guy has an idea. He projected it. I mean, he laid it down before us and was telling us, look, this is what we could do to salvage our nation, to bring us back from this brink. And the people are there.
Here we are.
The
system rigged against the people. People have no real say. It's unfortunate.
Also, we learn our lessons. We're learning the hard way, though.
Victor, let me take one more or two.
Yeah, please do.
Nice.
Have a nice evening. Bye.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Stay safe, man. Okay. So here is our guy, the African Wahala, which is the Prince Adewale from Canada. How are you, Baba?
Yes, brother. I'm good.
It's been a while.
Good afternoon.
Yes.
Yeah, it's really good to talk to you, man.
Okay. Thank you so much. So how are you? How's everything?
Yeah, everything is good. Yeah, it's just good to, speak again on the Temple of Truth.
Thank you.
We've had many things to speak about over the last few days. We've not had a chance. So
anyone that you can remember, we can start from that.
Yeah.
Just anyone.
There's
so much
to my previous caller.
Go on.
Yeah, to the previous caller, my dear brother. I'm sorry that you feel that way. You feel really embarrassed about the Nigerian police. It's unfortunate, but that's how Nigeria has always been. It's just because these days social media is so popular. So some of these things are now recorded and posted for everyone to see. This is how Nigeria has always been. If the Nigerian police are not seeking for jobs with Chinese or Americans, Europeans, anybody from anywhere else, all those kind of people, they will seek for appointments with the so-called celebrities, or with the mega pastors. These days, even social media content creators that have a lot of followers, the police lobby to get jobs to work with them. Because if you think about it, a policeman whose salary is 70,000 naira per month, a tip for washing the cars, going to pick up the children of the politician, or going to pick up the big man's girlfriend, going to pick up one of the China man or the Indian, they'll give them a tip of 50,000 naira. So in 1 week, they've already made 80% of their salary in tips. So it's not a surprise that they stoop that low. They are not stooping low. They are not embarrassing you. They are not embarrassing Nigeria. If we are being honest with ourselves, we should know by now that Nigeria itself is an embarrassment to everyone, to Africa. Nigeria as an entity, it's unfortunate. What we have is that geographical space, the map of Nigeria that we have today that was passed on to us by Europeans after they divided Africa. That geographical space can never work to our benefit, especially considering the way it is politically structured. It's never going to work. How would one president be in control of so many people with so much diversity and such an entity will work? It's not going to work. I mean, yesterday, Mayogun was showing us videos of some soldiers. They were under attack by Fulani bandits. Maybe it was Lakurawa, maybe it was ISWAP, maybe it was Boko Haram. I mean, the contraption has so many terror groups, you can't even keep counts these days. So the soldiers are complaining, go better for Nigerian government. Nigerian government, see how you set us up. I mean, this is everyday complaints every day. Listen, I was watching a video today. Some Fulani terrorist was like, "You people are blaming us. Why are you blaming us? It's not our fault. Before we started, Fulani terrorists, before we started in this country, was there a light? Was there good road? Was there hospital?" So, I mean, the problem is not the Fulani terrorists. The problem is not the Nigerian police or the soldiers. It's not about people not being patriotic. It's the contraption itself. The Nigeria as an entity, not the geographical space. God bless the geographical space. I mean, we have beautiful places from the north, east, south, central, everywhere. We have many nice features. However, as an entity, Nigeria is never going to work. Period. It's just not going to work.
Like,
and it's unfortunate.
I said, if Nigeria is going to work, it must be that the people who are part of Nigeria, right, decided that they wanted to work. So when was the time that we agreed, right, to be one Nigerians? There was never a time we agreed. There was never a written agreement that these were the conditions for all of us to come together and live together. There was none. Everybody just projected that since we are all black and since since we can all speak broken English, we should be fine.
They're the same people.
Yeah, you are the same. We are not. There's some unique differences that, except we respect them, right? And everybody agrees to respect those differences, right? That is the only time we can say, we agree to be in the same country. Then write a constitution that represents those interests. In absence of all of that, right? Africa Wahala.
It's a waste of time.
It's a waste of time.
It's a waste of time, my brother. Because, I mean, look, you just explained it. We have to respect our differences. Yes, it's unfortunate what happened, how Nigeria was created. Europeans partitioned Africa for their own benefits and to our detriment. And then we ended up with the geographical space, and we are forced with other people to share that geographical space. The least that we can do is to come up with a structure that will be respectful of different groups. I mean, to be honest, Nigeria should probably have, like, in my opinion, maybe 15 states or 15 provinces, something like that. And then there shouldn't be any powerful presidios. That's stupid. How would a man be so powerful?
In the first place, right? So they were supposed to have,
it's just absolutely, it's a joke.
It was 15 provinces, right? And within those provinces, you can then have what is called the counties, which represent every group of interest, tribe, and all that, and say, Agbalaka County, Chukwueze County, Nwabueze County, Haruna, Dankwambo. I'm just using those ones to represent everybody in their own space and whatever you want to call it. All of us agreeing to be in the same country. That's the beginning. We must first agree, right? Then we can then choose how we want to be governed and ruled. In the absence of all of that, it is a waste of time.
There is only one inevitable option at this point. Implosion. It's going to be the catastrophic implosion of the contraption. But thank you, Mayogun General. Thank you so much for your great platform and your great work.
Bless you, man. Send me well to the girls as well, okay? And the missus.
I will, Baba. Thanks.
Right? Cheers, man. That is the African Wahala, ladies and gentlemen. Here is a brother across the Niger. All hail Biafra. All hail Odudua.
All hell Biafra. All hell Odudua.
How you doing tonight?
How you doing? I'm pretty good. I was at work. I was like, let me step out real quick and chime in. What an incredible show today.
Fantastic. Right? Yeah, let's make it all.
Yes. Yes, everyone that called in and made a terrific contribution. African Wahala, salute to you. Everything you said, you nailed it. Once again, people that's calling talking about our country, there's no such thing as our country. Nigeria has never been our country. Nigeria has always been something that always weighed us down to keep us in a contraption in perpetual slavery. And there's nothing Tinubu could do or anything. Tinubu is an agent. Tinubu was sent there for a reason, to keep everything in chaos so they could steal as much resources as they can. Even them, they're having no mouth. If, for instance, when the coups happened in Burkina Faso and the rest of the other countries, Tinubu jumped head first in to send troops in there to in Niger. I mean,
invade the country.
to go, yes, to invade the country. I mean, let's be real. These people will never want anything good for us because they want the status quo. They want things to be the same way that it has always been, where they have an upper hand and everyone is a slave to them. Tinubu lived in abroad. So many of them lived abroad. They know what's good from right. You know what I mean?
Yes.
But they could never do